Okay, shortest screencast ever. The annotated bibliography assignment is hopefully going to flow very easily from your research proposal assignment in the sense that the proposal asks you to provide your research and support so far, and so you've had yet another week to work on the annotated bib. And for what it's worth, I do this assignment for a couple of reasons. One, because it helps sharpen up your research process. But number two is annotated bibs are very par for the course type college assignment, especially those of you maybe looking to go to grad school. There's going to be plenty of annotated bibliographies in your future. Believe me, that's I'm several dozens of hours past my master's degree, and I can tell you that there are lots of annotated bibs in the humanities and elsewhere, because you have to have a clear sense of the field of research that you're jumping into, and no assignment makes that any better, any easier than an annotated bib. So compile a list. Now, hopefully the best of you, the brightest of you, and I know who you are at this point, you'll go well beyond the 5 minimum sources that this assignment requires. But for this annotated bib assignment, you only have to do 5. But if you annotate all of your sources, you're going to be sitting pretty. And just a reminder, at least 2 need to come from academic editing and action sources or journals. Okay, 2 popular sources. Remember, we have this list here. Maybe I should link to that. And 1 piece of primary research. And so I've even given you how to cite primary research, a little link there. Either conduct it yourself, or you find one online, an interview, an observation, or a survey type of thing. Sources should be, hopefully you've looked at this Prezi on sources, credible, reliable, trustworthy, relevant, and from a range. Those are the 4 qualities that you always want your sources not only to aspire to, but to execute. So I'll be judging you the same way. So you want to make sure that everything is timely as well. Okay, use the proper format, either MLA or APA. My strong suggestion, if you don't know or don't really care which one to use, I would say get some practice with APA. Many of you are going down a sort of a science, medical science sort of road. Many of you are looking at, things like, not outside of the humanities, I guess is what I'm struggling to say. Your MLA is almost exclusively in the humanities, maybe some sociology, but APA is everything else. So get used to APA if you get a chance. So you'll probably have a references page. Then the important part, that's just bibliography. What we're talking about there is properly cited sources. What you also need to do is annotate those sources within the bibliography. And in annotation, you're going to see lots of different definitions as you go about your college careers. For my money's worth, and what I've sort of distilled all the different annotated bibs I've done, and I've distilled those assignments down into, I ask myself, what is essential to an annotation? And it's these 2 elements for my money's worth. Sentence or 2 of summary. Okay, so you don't get too in depth with it, but you summarize what the article or the book or the source, whatever it's about. Okay, and that's summary writing. It's almost like the first part of a reader response. So you've had some practice with that. And some of you are fantastic summarizers, by the way. And then a sentence or 2 about the usefulness of the article for your research project. Editing and action. How do you plan to use it in your essay? And that's going to be much more interesting to me. I can read all your articles. I probably will read your articles, as many as I'm able. But what I can't do is know how you intend on using those sources. So that's what the second part of the annotation is for. Points of doctoral sloppiness, citation formatting, and the quality of your sources. Sloppiness in any manifestation, I guess. The digital library, the Writing Center, and I myself, and as well, just a link up here to the Purdue OWL, OWL, Online Writing Lab. What is primary research and how do I get started? So anything you find on that website is going to be useful to you as well. And as you scroll here, this is a sample MLA annotated bib. All right, so Richard Feinberg, you see all this is cited correctly. Fire Next Door, Mexico's Drug Violence and the Danger to America from Opposing Viewpoints and Context. And so, so a little bit, there's a kind of 1 sentence summary, and then 1 sentence of I could use this information too. That's really what this article gives me reasonable ways to make change. So there's an MLA example, and then further down is an APA example. Bump that up a little bit. And you can just see that one of the key differences is that APA provides URLs, whereas MLA uses the word web. So hopefully you're aware of all this stuff. Having read chapter 16 this week or last week, you'll know that already, hopefully. And I plan on, see how this is a bit longer of a summary, but then I plan on using this article too, right? right? I plan on using, I mean, it's just that simple. It doesn't need to be flowery language or anything. I'm going to use this article too. You just get to the point of, here's what it's about and here's how I plan on using it. You can see these annotations aren't long. And like I said, going down the rabbit hole of grad school, they would be much longer. But hey, this is a 100 level class, right? So I promised you a short screencast, and I believe I am going to deliver. All right, send me your questions.